After attaining the supreme enlightenment, Buddha started teaching Dhamma to the masses to liberate them from the sufferings of the cycle of birth and death. He led a very active life and continuously taught for more than 45 years till he attained Parinirvana at the age of 80 years. He was very systematic and organized in the performance of his daily activities. The Buddha's daily routine was divided into 5 parts: the morning session, the afternoon session, the first watch, the middle watch, and the last watch. First was the morning session, which started at 4 am and extended up to 12 noon. Buddha would get up at 4 am and he would sit down to meditate for an hour after having his morning wash. From 5 to 6 am, he would look around the world with his mental eyes to see if anyone needed help. At 6 am, he would put on his robe and go out on his alms round. When on an alms round, the Buddha would go from house to house, eyes fixed to the ground, receiving in silence any food that was offered into his bowl. Sometimes he would go begging with his disciples, who would walk behind him in a row. Many times, people would invite him for lunch to their houses, and he would give a discourse to them and the gathered masses. Even during his last days on this earth, when he was very old and had grown very weak, he went on his alms round in the city of Vaishali. Before midday, he finished his meal. Immediately after lunch, he used to deliver a short discourse to the people. At times, he granted ordination to his followers if they sought admission to the order of monks, and then he retired to his chamber. Second was the afternoon session. This session extended from 12 noon to 6 pm. In the afternoon, he used to take his seat in the monastery, and the monks assembled to listen to his discourse on Dhamma. The monks would usually go to Buddha to ask questions and seek his advice. The Buddha would then retire to his room. In the evening, the lay followers would assemble at the monastery. He would then go and meet people waiting for him to listen to the discourse on Dhamma. Perceiving their inherent tendencies and their temperaments, with the Buddha eye, he preached to them for about 1 hour. Each member of the audience felt that Buddha's sermon was directed in particular to him or her. Such effective was the Buddha's method of teaching the Dhamma. Afternoon session was followed by the first watch. This period of evening extended from 6 to 10 pm and was reserved for instructions to monks. During this time, the bhikkhus were free to approach the Buddha and get their doubts cleared, question him on the intricacies of Dhamma, get advice on meditation, and hear the doctrine directly from Buddha. Fourth was the middle watch. During this period, which extended from 10 pm to 2 am, celestial beings who are invisible to the physical eyes approached the Buddha to listen to his discourse and to question him on Dhamma. The Buddha, on answering their questions, would complete the middle watch of night. And the fifth was the last watch. The early hours of the morning, extending from 2 am to 4 am, formed the last watch. Buddha would spend the first hour in sankama or walking meditation, pacing up and down. This also provided mild exercise to him. During the second part of the last watch, that is from 3 to 4 am, he mindfully slept for 1 hour on his right side. The Buddha was busy for the whole day, occupied with his religious duties. He only slept 1 hour each day during those 45 years of teaching. During the 9 months of the year, except the rainy season, Buddha went from place to place in the Gangetic plains of India, walking 15 to 20 miles a day, and he very seldom stayed more than a day or two at one place. During the rainy season, he stayed at one place normally for 3 months, which was known as the Vassavas or the rains retreat.